It has begun. Okay, so we are live. It is official. We are here, and we're going to talk about Justice League Dark Apokolips War. Let's see here. Let's see. I'm live. Yeah, it doesn't say that it's live on this end. Wait a minute, where'd it go? See, this thing is crazy. Keeping up with this crap. Turn on the volume on this thing. Okay, let me share this out to Twitter and all that shit. Let's see. Live now. Tweeting it out. Make sure people are aware that we are good to go. Apparently. I think. And I was noticing, too, because some chat was coming in. Arkham Gaming, what's up? Rex Road, what's up? There's some delay, I think, with the thing tonight. I'm not really sure. Yeah, people are jumping in now. Okay. I think there might be, like, some... I don't know, maybe there's, like, a delay with, like, when you're waiting to start the stream. I'm not really sure. Hello, everybody. Hello, welcome. We are here to talk about Justice League Dark Apokolips War. So, there's a lot of things that happen in this movie. My reaction is up on Patreon. If you guys want to go check that out. I mean, it's, you know, got to pay the top tier, $10 a month to see the reaction, but it's a good one. Holy crap. But I'm going to do something a little bit different. Now, you guys who are here now, you get told this now. I'm going to try something tonight that's a little bit different for the channel. I'm going to throw a link to get in here in the chat a little bit later, and you guys will have the ability to jump in and potentially be on the channel. So, like, you know, it's not guaranteed when you click on the link you'll be on the channel and you'll be able to voice your opinion on the movie and all that kind of stuff. But you'll be here to where I can see you, and then I may click on you and add you in for a couple minutes to give your thoughts about the movie, and maybe some of your favorite moments, some of your least favorite moments about the movie, all that kind of stuff. So I will link that a little bit later so you guys have a little time if you guys want to jump in and actually voice your opinion via actually within the live stream talking with me versus in the chat. But that's, you know, up to you guys. We'll see how that goes. If someone decides to join, to click on, who knows? Maybe it'll be a complete failure and nobody will come. Nobody will want to talk about their opinions via video because maybe they're nervous or something. Who knows? Because doing this is, it's easy for me to talk into a camera, but maybe not to everybody. Oh, Fernando. Oh, Fernando. But, yeah, so I want to first start off by saying Justice League Dark Apokolips War made a lot of bold decisions. And I'm quite surprised with those decisions because I wasn't expecting them to go the direction they did. Like, it blew me away how they just, every couple of minutes, made a decision that fundamentally changed the film. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Gotham Knight. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat, man. That means a lot to me. This blew me away, honestly. I'm super eager to see the new timeline. Yeah, so literally everything goes to hell, and then there's a big decision where basically he creates another flashpoint. And that, I think, is the craziest decision they could have done because they destroyed so much that it's like there's nothing we can do to really fix this. So Barry has to do it. And I like how Constantine tells Barry this, and Barry doesn't even say anything to anybody else. Barry just goes, just starts running. Jesus Christ. It's bonkers. It's bonkers as hell. Because, like, after I've witnessed all of this happening, all the things they threw into this movie, I'm like, so you're ending on that note? Fades to white? And then that's it. Like, there's no hint of what this new universe is. There's no hint at it. It's just, boom. There's going to be a new timeline. Essentially a new timeline. I don't know. So, here we go. Yes. I was shocked. And you guys know my love of Batgirl. I hated that moment. That's the one moment I did not like in the movie because they did that. But that's just me being an ass. But I love Batgirl so much, and they were pieces of shit. They showed that. I'm like, you didn't have to show it. You could have implied that she's dead. You didn't have to show it. Another interesting point here, too. Trigon Superman was fucking bonkers. Because as soon as Trigon gets out, he just snaps Constantine's neck. And then, of course, it just continues on from there. God damn. I don't know. There's so many things that, like, if I would not have stopped my review portion of the reaction I did for Patreon for this movie, the review would have kept on going for at least 20, 30 minutes. I had to stop at about 8 or 9 or so. Because there was so much stuff to cover. Really hope that we'll get to see Dark Knights. That's possible. I mean, I don't know. At this point, the new timeline, who knows exactly. I didn't really like how the Paradooms were eating people like you didn't have to eat them. Yeah, okay, I understand this point too. By the way, Paradooms, it's kind of a weird name, but I have to say, god damn, was it crazy. Like, creating a creature that is half parademon, half doomsday, and there's a whole shit ton of them, there's no way that wasn't going to end well. And the fact that we saw the Justice League flying to Apokolips, and then a Paradoom breaks in, and then it cuts to the title, and then it says 2 years later. What? What the fuck? What were some of your guys' favorite moments? I see some commenting saying the movie is good, blah, 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 blah. What were some of your highlights of the film? I'm curious. I'm curious to know some of your highlights, because for me, I was quite surprised with, like, they brought so many characters back throughout the years of the of this timeline they've been creating with these films. Like, I wasn't expecting the whole bunch of Suicide Squad members coming in towards the end and everything. I wasn't expecting that, but you know, here's a good one right here too. Can I get a shout out? Can I just shout out how glorious Harley Quinn? Harley Quinn was great in this movie. I can't fucking talk. Harley Quinn was great in this movie. I like the fact, gave no fucks. They had to kill her, but hey, no fucks were given. No fucks were given. Another good one. Trigon versus Darkseid, something that we thought would never happen, and they've been holding that for a while, because Trigon came a couple years ago in that movie where Trigon shows up at the end. I think it was at the end of Justice League versus Teen Titans. They've been waiting. I got a notification. Yeah, it's fine. Whatever. So, Daniel Travis. Hold on. I missed your comment. Let me go back up and find it. There we go, Daniel Travis. There you go. Wanted to make sure I got your comment. The film was dark as hell. And I was questioning as the reaction started for Patreon. I thank God it was voted, because I wanted to watch it so bad. But the fact that it's called Justice League Dark Apokolips War, I thought they would have called it Justice League Apokolips War, but I guess it makes sense to call Justice League Dark because it focuses on Constantine as the main character. But I think it would have been fine. They could have still had the same movie as is, but just called Justice League Apokolips War, because it really is not just about, so you say Justice League Dark, it sounds like you're covering only the, Justice League Dark members and not necessarily everybody. And they included everybody in this fucking movie. They could have called this DC Apokolips War, because it basically encompasses all these characters throughout the years, not just one specific group. So does the villains losing count as a good moment? Well, the thing is, the villain, you're talking about the villains that actually helped out and how they sacrificed themselves. Possibly, yeah. I mean, I can see it, because essentially it's just like, it reminds me of Justice League Unlimited, when in Justice League Unlimited we had Apokolips, essentially, all these parademons, Darkseid coming to Earth, and all the villains teamed up with the heroes at the end to kind of save everything, because it's their world too. So I can kind of see it that way. They just stepped over main characters at Nightwing, Aquaman. Are you talking about the movie? Well, there's so many characters they had to cover. I mean, it was just hard to keep up. I was so mad when I thought John left. Yeah, this is the biggest thing ever. The very first line is Satana putting out that spell to John, and he runs away without having any real control. I hated that at first, but then the reveal of what actually happened to him, now I understood, because he was needed. He was needed. And I agree with this too, 100% Gotham Knight. It was essentially DC's Endgame. It was. But they went a lot darker. Because instead of the whole portals from Endgame where everybody was brought back and shit, the only way to bring people back is to basically create a new timeline, which means none of them would remember it. Now, maybe Barry would remember it, but nobody else would. Nobody else would. Mira's death was so disgusting. So was Starfire's. The other thing is Starfire wasn't dead, though. Mira, like, they were brought back as these, like, enforcers or whatever they were called. I forget what they were called. But they were brought back to do some serious damage. And I love the fight scene with them as essentially recreated apocalyptian warriors or whatever. It's crazy as fuck. Dude, the R-rated tone feel off since the other DC films have been R-rated. Excuse me. Well, we had the Killing Joke, which is not connected to this universe, as rated R. I would say it didn't feel... It only felt off when the deaths that they were showing were, like, over the top. Some deaths, they kind of hid away from certain things, and other things, they clearly showed some, like, pretty gruesome deaths. It's animated, so it's not as bad as live action or whatever, but still, I guess you could say it's not a big difference, but, like, when you see certain people dying a certain way and it's pretty brutal, yeah, I mean, it kind of hits you because, like, well, okay, they've not gone this far. I mean, there's been some pretty messed up stuff within the PG-13 films they've done within the universe, but this one really pushed it an extra step. They really didn't give a fuck. Were there characters that died you didn't expect to die? I didn't expect... Well, I wouldn't say I wouldn't expect them to die, because once they open up with 2 years later after the Pair of Doom jumps through when the Justice League are coming to Apokolips, and then it's just 2 years later, and then we see the flashback of all these characters dying. At that point, I'm like, I'm not going to be surprised by anyone dying. Etrigan. Etrigan was one I wasn't expecting, but it made most sense because he was pretty badass. He was taking out Pair of Dooms like they were nothing. So it made sense for him to go, because Etrigan the Demon, he would have withstood and actually survived it all, I think, if he would not have been died the way he did. Was it much more brutal than Justice League? Oh, yeah. Much more brutal, yeah. In terms of characters' deaths and shit, and... Okay, I know Franny hasn't even seen the movie, and I hope that even though you're hearing spoilers, you'll still go watch it and be surprised. Fucking Darkseid destroys Oa. He destroys all of it. Like it's nothing. Darkseid destroys Oa and everything about it. And I just mentioned that, and Micah said it here too. Or Micah. Darkseid decimating the Green Lanterns. Yeah, he literally destroyed all of them. He destroyed 3 lanterns like they were nothing with his Omega Beam rays, or whatever they're called. Give him a point. Then he destroys all of Oa like it's nothing. I hear a lot of people didn't like how Lady Shiva died. Yeah, that was a little surprising. For some reason, I didn't think it was Lady Shiva. For some reason, I thought it was Talia. I don't know why I thought it was his mother. Maybe Talia died before this. I don't remember. It's been a while, but see, during the reaction of the movie, I'm like, oh, is that Talia? And it's Lady Shiva, and then Lady Shiva dies. I'm like, oh, it's Lady Shiva. I'm like, oh, I thought it was Talia this whole time. Oops. There's just a lot of characters to keep up with. I don't fucking know. Exactly here. Evil Batman. Yeah, I thought for a second maybe he was the mole that they talked about within the movie, but then, no, he was not the mole. Darkseid and Trigon is something I would never expect to fight from them. Exactly. I wasn't expecting it at all, and it was a nice way to give us something we were... Because, like, at a certain point, this movie got to the point where you're watching going, I don't know what to expect next. Because there's so many things they're doing that you weren't expecting them to do. Because when they said this is a final film in the universe, like, you're thinking some epic big battle with all of these heroes together, all teaming up, all the Teen Titans, the Justice League all together, like Endgame ending where all the heroes are there to fight the army of Thanos. You were thinking that was going to be the big climactic battle. Turns out a lot of heroes died instantly. And then the 2-year time jump, then we just go back to see in the flashback where a lot of them die and some of them get transformed into these apocalypse warriors that basically defend Apokolips. Wonder Woman, Starfire, shit like that. So yeah, we were not getting what we were expecting. Arkham Gaming, I thought this was brutal. It was brutal to watch. And even though we've seen it a million times, revolving around Martha and Thomas Wayne's death and Joe Chill, I think it was very interesting, and it made some good sense for them to bring that back to where Joe Chill had the gun to Bruce's head, and then it switches to Bruce standing there in front of Damian, because Damian was Bruce and Joe Chill standing there was Batman, and then he broke. Luckily got out of it, but Jesus Christ. Let's see, we got White Raven. We got White Raven. Yep. Wonder Woman taking a chance to battle other members of jail by herself was badass. Yeah, it was. But I mean, I thought that was a great reveal, revealing that certain members of Justice League and then of course Starfire from Teen Titans was saved to fight off everybody else. Like they were, like you thought they were dead. So, do you think that Matt Ryan is the perfect and only play? I don't know if he's the only person in perfect. I wouldn't. He's amazing in the role. He really is. But I'm not going to say he's the only person that can play Constantine, because there's, I mean, Keanu Reeves played Constantine. Doesn't mean that he's better or worse than Matt Ryan, but there's other people that have portrayed the character. But I will say Matt Ryan has really embodied that role in live action and in animated form. What do you think? Let's see here. I didn't think the Suicide Squad would be in the film. Exactly. I was surprised about that too. That at a certain point, I'm like, okay, so who's still available to help? You know what I'm saying? And then the Suicide Squad brought in, like, oh shit. Daniel Travis, thank you so much for the super chat, man. Thank you so much. I hope in the new timeline we have more than 2 Robins. I agree. I think we'll have all the Robins essentially. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? Who do you think could play Constantine in the HBO Max Justice League Dark show? I have no clue. I thought this would be a comment about the movie. Sorry. Cyborg's last word should have been booyah. Yeah. It should have. It should have. Yeah. I see what you mean. It should have, though, but it's okay. It's okay. The Justice League death flashback was so nasty. It was. It was, because I should have seen it coming, and I kind of figured something bad happened because it flashed to 2 years later, and it completely cut away from that scene. Now we know why. And then the Paradooms go to Earth, and then it's like there's nothing to do. They can't stop this shit. Now here, Boomerang, Captain Boomerang was great. I really liked him. Do you think Superman animated movie will start a similar joint universe? I mentioned that. I said that it could. It could be the rebooted. It could be the rebooted universe, but it may be just a one-off. What do I think about Damian and Raven? So this was something that I was thinking about too when I was watching the movie. I think it was interesting, but I feel bad for them because as soon as they really started to kind of have a relationship there, reboot. That timeline doesn't exist anymore. So I don't know. They may not even do that again. You know, they may not even go down that road. Is Darkseid more brutal than Thanos? Well, in terms of this movie, yeah. I mean, Thanos snapped half the universe, and that's fine. But Darkseid and his Paradooms killed 85% of all the heroes that we've seen, and then villains too. Really creative for parademons to become a hybrid of Doomsday. I thought that was really creative because it made more sense why a lot more heroes and villains, essentially, like why more people were dying. Because parademons can easily be taken down once you realize their weaknesses. Batman was taking them down. Okay, and I understand Batman is Batman. He's, God. But you get my point. So, like, infusing parts of Doomsday into fucking parademons, that's a smart move. And I agree with this too. Darkseid definitely was better. Now, I wish the voice actor would have came back from Justice League War to do Apokolips War, but it wasn't him. It was somebody else. Yeah, this is good. Lois Lane doing that little boxing match or whatever with Harley Webb was pretty good. It was pretty good. Which do you like more, DC Cinematic Universe or DC Animated? Well, I mean, both have their pros and cons. I felt like with the DC, it's funny because someone commented this, and I saw this, saying the DC Animated Universe is all over the place, tonal-wise, and the films aren't that great. I'm thinking, okay, because for me, everyone has an opinion, but for me, I felt like the DC Animated Universe they've built, like, there's been multiple universes they've built. The New 52 that they start with Justice League, was it Justice League War or was it something else? Regardless, the universe they were building all over these years and ended, of course, now with this, that they stuck the landing in terms of really not giving a fuck. because the timeline was changed. Yeah, technically nobody survived. Yeah, no, I'm saying like after Darkseid was removed, and he was the main villain here. Trigon was there too, but you get my point. It was Darkseid. We had some survivors, but it wasn't to the point of where they could cohesively continue in this universe. I like that this film potentially ends the way the universe started, Flashpoint. Essentially, yeah, because Barry didn't want to do it. Barry did not want to go the route of erasing, but once it mentions in order for things to maybe, it's not even guaranteed, maybe start turning around, 1 billion more lives have to be lost. I don't know. Somebody said the minute they saw Flash, they knew how the movie would end. That's possible. Because, I mean, that's your saving grace if he doesn't die. If he died, man, that would have been a horrible ending. So Superman, someone else asked this. Will Superman Man of Tomorrow will be the rebirth? Maybe. They haven't said anything about that as far as I'm aware. They haven't said anything about it becoming it's becoming the new universe. I've only heard that it's just another film. It's a new animation style. If it is, interesting. But I really want them to announce the start of a new universe and announce it with a film. Doesn't matter what it is. So if it is Superman Man of Tomorrow, announce it. Announce that this is the movie that is starting a new universe. If not, then maybe they'll announce it at DC Fandom in August. Maybe they'll announce a new animated film that's coming out maybe like next year or something. That's going to be the start of the rebirth. I'm like, okay. Of course I want Conroy. Come on. I actually hope to see more Satana in this movie. What about you? I'm okay with what they did. I mean, they made a bold choice. And the first thing they really did was, first of all, keeping Constantine around. Wasn't expecting that. Superman being alive, but he's injected with kryptonite, so he cannot become Superman. He's just Clark Kent. And then Raven is still alive. Some interesting choices. Now, would I have personally restructured the film differently with certain characters? Yeah, that's me, but I can't say my movie would be better. Honestly, the animation style for Man of Tomorrow looks like something from Cartoon Network. Well, I hear you. It's a different animation style. And it was great. Yeah, I agree. It was. Would you be with Justice League or Justice League? Oh, Justice League. No question about that. Let's see here. I read somewhere that this movie is inspired by. Well, I would say yeah, it's inspired by what he originally was going to do for his Justice League trilogy, but it's not. I don't think Paradooms was going to be in Zack Snyder's trilogy of Justice League movies. I don't believe that all the characters that you saw within this. I think what they did was they looked at some of the things he was going to do, and went, we can use this for this, because they had a lot more setup. They had a lot more setup with a lot more characters, so they had the ability to tell the story featuring 30, 40 plus characters that we've been introduced to. So yeah. A-List Productions, man. What's up, man? Hey, man. Welcome. I'm going to be sending out the link in a couple minutes, guys. In a couple minutes, I will send a link to this stream directly so you guys can potentially jump in and be on the stream to talk about your thoughts about this movie. So, yeah, if you click that, when I post the link in the chat, you guys will be able to jump in here, and I'll be able to see you, and I'll be able to add you in when I see fit. So, no guarantee, but if you jump in, you have a pretty good chance of being on the channel if you guys want to. How do you like the Nightwing twist? I mean, I wasn't expecting the route of, like, he gets stabbed. I'm like, and then he's alive still because they used the fucking Lazarus pit. Like, what? And he's not always the same. Yes, I think pretty much everyone here is saying they love the movie, or they really enjoyed it. I honestly would give this movie possibly like an 8.5 and 9. I mean, it's really good. It's really good. I was quite happy with it because it was so unexpected. So, yeah, it was so unexpected. Like, it's like, Jesus, like they're really pushing themselves and not giving a fuck. I mean, that's possible. That is possible that he may be the reboot. But who knows? Kid Flash was definitely wasted. Yes, he was. Diana comes back to the good side and saves her part. Yeah. I mean, the reveal of because see, we saw some of these people dying or essentially dying. And then the reveal that some of them are actually still alive via tech is crazy as fuck. I'm doing a video for ReactorCon on a fantasy DC universe. Maybe might be collaborating. Oh, that's cool. Enhancements on the Fallen Heroes. Yes, I did. I felt like it was a nice decision to surprise the audience, thinking, "Oh crap, Martian Manhunter's dead, Wonder Woman, Mara, Starfire. Who was the other? Oh, I think it was Hawkman, right? I think it was that was the last person. Regardless, they they made it seem like they're all dead, and then they come back, and then they're fighting. Like, oh fuck me. Let's see here. It was fun. Oh. Have you overall liked the New 52 era? Yes, I overall have, yes. I feel like most of them are really damn good. And honestly, now that they're done, I want to go back and rewatch them again. I kind of want to go back and start rewatching these films. And I may do that. And I honestly think about this total now, but since you mentioned it, I don't know. Because see, what I guess I could do, hypothetically, is maybe if I start rewatching these films in the order that they were released, maybe I do like quick little reviews or something for them or whatever. Or, I don't know. And Panther King, I did. I hated it. Watch party? That would be fun. Yeah, watch party maybe. Who knows? Hawkman was completely wasted. Yeah, Batgirl's death really hurt me. It really hurt me so bad. It did. Okay, guys, I'm going to link the stream right here in the chat so you guys can potentially join in. And make sure your mic and video is working if you want to do that. If you have a mic, I mean, even if you don't have a video but you have a mic, I'll probably still let you in. Who knows? But it's your time, guys, to jump in potentially and be on the stream. Hopefully that link works. I want to bring some of you guys in. I want to do something a little bit different. So come on, let's see who jumps in here. Let's see here. Didn't have a mic. Oh, we have one person. Hello. Welcome.
Hi.
Okay, so overall thoughts about this movie. What'd you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
My English is not very good. I'm from Chile.
It's all good.
Yeah, well, I'm actually. Does the camera look good?
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, you're good.
I'm actually quite a big fan of this universe. I don't really think a lot of people are big fan of this universe. I saw a lot of rants on Twitter, and people were saying, "Oh, these characters are like dying and stuff," and they haven't even watched the previous movies. Like they just. I did end up enjoying the movie, but I kind of was expecting a little bit more, not about the movie itself, but maybe about the universe. Like I just didn't want them to just, oh, everyone's dead, just ends abruptly. Like I maybe would have wanted more.
Okay, like would you prefer maybe like a part 1, part 2 where they establish more of the story maybe?
Yeah, maybe something like that. Like I think like it's kind of weird if you watch like Justice League War and Hal Jordan is one of the original members of the Justice League and he dies in a steel shot. Like
yeah.
Or imagine watching Throne of Atlantis and then Aquaman gets ripped apart.
Yeah, and then they had that shot of Starfire before she came back. We saw her like split in half essentially. I could easily see them doing like a thing where at the end of, say, like a part 1 of this story, the Paradooms are created, and then that's where it leads to part 2 being everything's being torn apart. Because that would give more time to establish that everything's coming to an end. And yeah, I can see where you're coming from. I mean, it really is brutal. Like a lot of people just die instantly, and it's kind of.
But I really like that this universe. I even like movies like most people don't like. Like everyone talks about Mask of the Phantasm being the best Batman movie ever if we're talking about animation. But I actually ended up liking Batman Hush, and surprisingly, I have read the comic and the twist at the end it was different, but it was surprising because I had read the comics and I was expecting a little bit the same thing. Or maybe I really like Batman Bad Blood. I think the Bat family was really well done there. Batwoman was amazing in this universe. I think that was very well respected. And I was so happy when I saw Batgirl in that post-credit, well, not really post-credit, at the end of Bad Blood.
Yeah.
And
then she's not around. And then they just kill her.
Yeah, and I was happy because it was with this suit, like this one. I don't know if you can
Oh
see.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I have that as a statue. Let me grab that real quick, actually.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I gotta be careful with this thing. Whoa. I like see it. Luckily, I grabbed it the way I did. I mean, literally, it's this suit right here.
Yeah, I really like that one.
And the fact that they do that at the end of Bad Blood, they have that moment where it's like another Bat family member,
Yeah.
and then she's just dead. And the next time we see her,
Yeah,
hurts.
and I'm a huge Batgirl fan. Like I love the character since the animated series and stuff. And she kind of get a little bit sidelined these days because of Batwoman. Batwoman's like extremely popular now.
Yeah. All right. Well, any lasting thoughts before we move on to somebody else here in the stream?
I don't know. I did end up enjoying the movie a lot. It was like the big finale, and it was like very sentimental to see Barry Allen, the Flash, the one who started that universe, put an end to it. I'm 20. I was literally 13 years old when Flashpoint came out, and I
Okay.
was really surprised because I was really used to a Batman the Animated Series, Justice League, and I haven't really seen too much besides that, so I was really happy with that. And one thing I wanted to mention, like I would really like them to continue with kind of the same universe, but a reboot with the Rebirth comics that came out since this adapted New 52. Now they kind of have to do Rebirth and do Green Arrow and Black Canary.
Okay. Yeah. I think you should.
Yeah, you can. It doesn't make sense that Roy Harper was here and no reference to Green Arrow.
I mean, it just they had so many other characters at some point. I don't know. I don't know why they made
it. It's kind of weird, and also Kid Flash. I was the one that commented that Kid Flash was wasted. It's weird because we saw the ginger Wally West on a flashback on the Teen Titans movie, but he's nowhere to be seen here. And now it's the African American Wally West, and he just dies.
Just dies.
Yeah, he has no lines.
Yeah. Well, thank you for stopping by, man. Thank you for joining in and giving your thoughts.
I love the channel. Bye.
See ya. All right. Let's add Deshaun Wiggins. Are you ready to join? Let's add you in. Hello, Deshaun.
Hello. How you doing?
Pretty good, man. What are your thoughts about the movie?
I'll be honest, though. I like the movie. I like how they went through it, but I was surprised all the characters had died, to be honest. I was surprised by Green Lantern. Oh God, they did Green Lantern done in that movie. Aquaman, throwing that they made Aquaman strong, but in this movie they just totally he just got whipped in half. That with Dark Side Omega Beam, I think they would call, and you see both of the Teen Titans die. You see Starfire body get whipped in half. You see, I hate how they kill Nightly off, to be honest. But I do enjoy the movie. I only watch the movie. I only watch it 2 times. That hit. I think I don't think I'm not gonna watch it like 4 or 3 times. I'll watch it 2 times. That hit.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is a hard watch for sure, especially when you're not expecting certain things. And I agree that the Teen Titans were kind of wasted in this movie. Like
That's a kid flag.
Yeah, I mean, that opening shot of him there, I'm like, well, what was the point of his character? He was barely in the movies.
Yeah.
And I guess they felt like, well, if the character wasn't really established, we're going to axe him because we have other things we got to get to. I mean, they could have easily established, like I was mentioning before, a part 1 and part 2 to kind of build more on this ending, but I don't know. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
But,
and I was surprised by how Shazam died. I thought Shazam like the second strongest character in DC. But he just died. He got his leg whipped off. Cyborg taking and save him. When he got he fought the pendulum, like he was shrugging and like fighting them, and he just died like that. Come on.
mean, literally, he sacrificed himself, but I mean, he ultimately took out a couple Paradooms, which I mean, we were learning that not everybody could do it. So I mean, he was able to do it, but unfortunately, I mean, he knew his time was because he almost died the first time. Luckily, Cyborg saved him. So
I totally forgot how Batwoman died. I totally forgot that scene. How Batwoman died.
They didn't even show it. My guess is she just died the same way Batgirl did. She got eaten, I'm guessing, or ripped apart. I don't know. They didn't show it, though. I was thinking on that, too, because when we saw that quick shot earlier before Batgirl died, which, hate that, they had both of them fighting together against the Paradooms, and then all of a sudden, that one was just not around.
Oh.
So, I'm not
all
really...
right. Like, baby, happy to join your channel, man.
Thank you so much. Any lasting thoughts?
Nah. Well, one thing. This movie, get an 8 out of 5. I mean, 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't get 100.
All right. Thank you so much, man.
Oh,
you're welcome.
All right, we're going to move on to Hero's Journey here. Hello, Hero's Journey. What's up?
Oh, hey, man.
What is your thoughts overall about the movie?
I mean, I actually like watched it with my siblings. So we were watching it, and it was Superman's all like, "All right, we're gonna go over to dark side," and you see them in the javelins. Well, it's just like, are they just gonna fly, you know, and then they're gonna land somewhere in Apokolips, get out, and then Darkseid's gonna come? Because when you go into an unknown territory against what's potentially unknown enemies, except for the main boss, you kind of want to have attack cruisers or some kind of defense system, or at least an advanced radar on your javelin.
Okay.
You know, that tells you we got multiple incoming hostiles, and you see on the radar, like, what is that, 500 dots, and you're like, oh wait, something's coming. That part was weird. And
so
then it skips
that they maybe should have flew away since they didn't have any of that, because they just went right to it.
Yeah, they should have had something other than a transport. It's like going into war with a normal Black Hawk.
Okay.
With a normal Black Hawk.
Yeah,
You're
I
not
see
gonna
what you
do
mean, because like they just went in without.
Yeah.
Like the plan was just to go. Like Superman was just being all forceful. We gotta go. So I see what you mean.
And then it skips over to the was it 2 years, 5 years? I forgot how many years.
It was 2 years.
Oh, 2 years. And then it just shows the heroes, the flashbacks of like every hero dying. And I'm just like, oh man, I like heroes a lot. That's why my name's Hero's Journey, and I'm like watching all my favorite heroes die. It's like getting.
I think that's the point of it. Like you're invested with these characters, whether it's from the comics or the actual universe they've been building. They want you to feel hurt. I mean, I felt it. It hurt to see all these characters die, and from a thing that I don't think they've ever done before. Paradooms. I think that's a brand new thing. I've never heard of that before.
They were called parademians, like the normal ones. So yeah. Paradooms. That's new.
I have to agree with Juan. I think that's how you pronounce his name, who was first here. He mentioned about how he kind of wished there was more fleshing out because they just kind of jump into everything going down. I would have liked a part 1 and part 2 to establish more of these heroes to get us ready for their deaths. But yet, it's like, because some people are complaining on Twitter, like he was mentioning, and how people are complaining about all this stuff, yet they didn't see previous movies. Well, if you watch the other previous movies, you understand that it has, I mean, I guess it didn't have to go the way it did, but I mean, they made a decision.
Yeah, like you just like see throughout like everything that happens, and later you see Batman. They show Batman a couple of times. It's like you're in a boxing ring and you're up against the wall, and the other person's just punching you and punching you. That's what it feels like when you see the heroes die, or like even Batman. Seeing an evil Batman, it's just like, no, Batman's the big guy. You can't do that. And then like they give you a little bit soft stuff, which is essentially like you see the villains die. Like we don't care about the villains. Like we just straight up horror face.
I'm fine with them sacrificing themselves to essentially keep that portal open or whatever, because Lex sent them through. I get it, but I guess it needed to happen because we needed more characters because they killed off so many. So,
I mean, yeah, that part. Yeah, the ending was like, I don't understand the ending part, because I get that Flash is going back in time, but like the way timeline works, like shouldn't this timeline still technically be going while another one is created?
Well, I mean, I think the showing of the light coming through, I think that kind of symbols that it's being erased, because it was explained. I mean, there's different ways to interpret like Flashpoint, or essentially, or timeline wise. making changes. But within the Flash season 3, I think it was season 3, where Jay Garrick explained to Barry that you can always go back in time and make changes and then revert it, but the cracks in the timeline are still there. So not everything's always going to be the same. So I feel like with Barry going back and making another Flashpoint indicates that none of this, I mean, it happened, but it's not happening in this timeline that he's making. So like choices that are made are different, or I mean, I don't know. It's like the whole butterfly effect or whatever. You make one small change, then it drastically changes a lot of other things because of that one thing you did. So essentially, however Barry made a Flashpoint, he did it, and then the timeline got erased. That's the way I interpret it.
The timeline always fixes itself. Like, you remember back in Arrow, the whole Felicity having the argument with Oliver over the sun.
Oh, yes.
Oliver that the timeline will always fix itself, and they still had that argument, but it was down the line. So
yeah,
like,
so maybe the Paradooms happen at a later date. Maybe.
But it's like when we watch the new movies, we gotta always think about like where is the timeline gonna fix itself? Because it's like if you reverse the timeline to save this one person, another person's gonna die. So we're somewhere in that universe. There's gonna be that many heroes dead.
True. I mean, it's possible. Any lasting thoughts before we move on? Because we have other people that are waiting to get in here. Any lasting thoughts?
Last minute thought is just like a potential movie I want to see them make in this universe. I want to see a Batman multiverse movie because we've had a lot of animated Batmans. You could have this Batman, the Batman from 2004, Kevin Conroy Batman. Just give us like a anniversary Batman movie where you just see all of them line up. I don't care who the bad guy is. Hell, bring a giant Joker if you want to. Doesn't matter. But that's it, man.
All right.
Thanks for being on the stream.
Thank you for joining. Thank you so much. Okay, Daniel Travis, you're next, man. I'm going in order.
Hey.
Welcome.
How are you?
Pretty good. What are your thoughts on the movie?
Honestly, man, I thought the movie, I watched all those movies. I was not expecting the movie to be as dark as it was going to be, but honestly, the only real change that I honestly would have made is just, like you said, it was just change the voice of Darkseid.
Yeah, I think it was Tony Todd, which, I mean, he's everyone knows him as Candyman, but the voice of Darkseid from Justice League War when he's first introduced, I'm like, that was a perfect voice. I mean, it's so, like, dark and demented. I felt like it made sense.
Yeah, because, honestly, when they go, there was a lot of things where I was just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, just like, Jesus.
Yeah.
A friend of mine told me that this movie was dark, but I was like, okay, yeah, sure. But then when I saw the movie, I was like, good God.
Like every 5 minutes or so, there's like something happening. You're going like, what are they doing?
Like, what? But when they go forward in the new continuity, all I hope is, they show, they do a new timeline where, they introduce all the Robins, they show them grow and then die. And heck, I personally want to see a Batman Nightfall movie.
Okay.
With Kevin Conroy as Batman.
I think everyone just wants Kevin Conroy. I mean, everybody wants.
Come on, it's Kevin Conroy.
Yeah.
Also, when I heard that Kevin Conroy was going to be in credits, I'm like, you have the perfect opportunity for Mark Hamill to be the Joker, and you waste it?
Well, it wasn't wasted. They couldn't get Mark Hamill due to schedules, but they wanted him as an old Joker. It didn't happen.
I mean, if I could just imagine just watching the crossover and just going, oh shit, it's Mark Hamill. But,
any lasting thoughts on the movie?
I thought the movie was worth the wait and it was worth the watch, and I thought that there was a lot of things that I was expecting, but I wish they kind of, like some other people said, is that they made the movie either longer or split the movie into two parts.
Yeah, I think that would have been a better approach, personally. But
Yeah.
who knows? Well, thank you for your
By
thoughts.
the way,
man.
keep up the good work.
Thank you, man. I'm trying my hardest over here. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, Cinema Reviews. Welcome,
Hi.
sir. Now, you've been sitting here for a while waiting. So,
Yeah.
Anyway.
I can't tell. Were there other people waiting? It's only showing. me
yeah,
on here.
I can see them on the timeline when they jump in. So, I was going in order. But what were your thoughts?
Oh, I loved it. Yeah, it's it's top DC for me, or at least animated movies anyway.
What were some of your big surprises?
Obviously, all the deaths. I did not expect those, or at least as frequent as they were happening.
Yeah.
Constantine was a lot bigger role than I expected.
I mean, it makes sense why it's called Just Like Dark then, since he was the main guy.
Yeah. One quick question: was King Shark a shark? I can't remember.
Yes. He was a shark, and they had the whole Constantine bit where they dated at one point, which that's the one thing I'm like, they didn't need that in the movie. Like, it didn't do anything but just have a weird moment where it's like, wait, you dated Harley? No, the other thing.
Yeah, like, well, actually, what's funny is, like, me and some other people are wondering, I doubt this will happen, but, like, some of us are kind of hoping, like, maybe in Harley Quinn season 3, they bring Constantine on and maybe do something with him, King Shark on that. I think that'd be funny.
I mean, the fact that, like, a couple weeks before this Snyder Cut got announced, they did a joke on the Snyder Cut. They had a guy where he released a Snyder Cut shirt, you know.
Yeah, that confused me. I'm like, wait, I'm confused. Are they making fun of that, or are they doing it? It's like
they know it's coming or something.
Happened to me. But,
I don't know. What are your thoughts on the fact that Barry created another timeline to fix it, or essentially destroy the continuity?
Makes sense given given the whole magma thing at the end, but yeah, I guess it's just be expected. And it's one of those things where, like, you're surprised but also not surprised. Like, it just kind of makes sense, especially when they were saying, like, oh, no sequel or anything.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that Barry's there and they mention Flashpoint.
Yeah.
When they save him from the treadmill. So it's like, okay, they may do that, but the fact that Batman's like, yeah, in order for maybe reset everything, 1 billion more people have to die. At that point, it's like, Barry, you have to do this.
Yeah.
Like, there's no saving it, because, like, all these heroes are dead. How are they gonna, like, what happens if somebody else out in deep space comes and tries to attack Earth now? There's no way they can stop it.
Yeah.
I
was about to say something. I can't remember.
You got a comment from somebody saying they like your wall. They like your wall.
Thanks. Yeah, I got.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh yes.
One thing I kept wondering is, like, me and my friend, we were talking earlier today. He watched Mask of the Phantasm for the first time, and well, I was thinking, like, which animated movie should I recommend he watch? Do you think someone could watch this without watching the other ones?
I mean, yes, but there's a lot of like all the deaths. I mean,
yeah,
a lot of it hits home because you've been watching the continuity for all these years of these movies.
Yeah,
but I mean, I guess you could, if you just wanted to watch a film where, like, hey, if you like DC characters, watch this movie where all of them die. Which I don't know, because there's been some people that said they watched this movie and only watched certain films within the continuity and they still enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to watch every single one of them. Like you probably, some priorities would be, like, of course, Justice League War, Reign of Superman, stuff like that.
I would say Teen Titans versus Justice League, or whatever that film title, because that introduced a lot of Teen Titans that are they all mostly died. But Starfire, like, you need to have some sort of connection with her.
That's another thing that surprised me. Darkseid versus Trigon, that was awesome.
Who thought of that? Someone's like, wait a minute, we introduced Trigon years ago in that Versus movie of the two teams. Let's bring him back. Yeah,
like, it didn't occur to me until I was actually watching the movie as it was progressing. I'm like, wait, are they gonna do Darkseid versus Trigon? I'm like, oh my word.
Now, like, that could be its own movie where they just get them to fight. It's like, we've already done it. Well, let's do it again. It's cool. Yeah. Do you think they're gonna do the Rebirth route?
Yeah, I'd say that's a good bet. Yeah, I imagine we'll probably get a Button movie at some point, or something that can do it.
That's interesting.
Did they say they were going to do a Watchmen animated movie a year or two ago?
I don't remember, but like if you go to the Wikipedia and you look at like all the films that have been announced or they've discussed, there's still a lot on the table they've not done. So,
Yeah.
I mean, and the button that's a good one. That'd be good because people would expect that.
Yeah, I think if I had one issue, it's the scene where Jon Stewart died. I mean, it's a good scene setup wise, I guess, but like, I get that he's injured, but he could have finished the oath quick enough before the magma hit the
he was like, he's taking his time. He's but then again, he saw 3 lanterns get Omega beamed like nothing.
Yes.
And then Kilowog comes in for 2 seconds. And
yeah.
Okay.
But still, I feel like he 2 seconds faster on the Green Lantern's light part, he could have gotten it done.
Exactly. Any lasting thoughts on this movie?
Yeah, great movie. I can't wait to see what they do next. I will say I am gonna miss Jerry O'Connell and Rebecca Romaine as Clark and Lois. I thought they were great.
I mean, I did mention I do think that if they reboot the timeline, they could always keep the actors. It's just a new timeline, so they could still.
Yeah, I mean, look at how many times they brought back like Kevin Conroy or even just like Nathan Fillion as Green Lantern.
I mean, Nathan Fillion alone has done like multiple Green Lanterns that people are like, oh, he's back again. Yeah, just like this one scene, but he's still Green Lantern.
Yeah,
because I think he's out aged the role live action wise, so he can just do it animated. So, all right, thank you so much, man, for joining.
Thank you. See ya.
All right, Kaisep, I think that's how I pronounce your name. Hello, sir. You've been waiting for a long time.
I have, yeah. Can you hear me? I'm sorry.
Yes, we can hear you. You're good.
Okay.
What are your thoughts overall?
I mean, I have to say that this movie definitely has the shock value more than anything. It's a real red wedding, isn't it? But
that's a good comparison. It's the red wedding, but the whole movie's the red wedding.
Yeah, and I put in the comments of the chat before, like in the famous words of Linkin Park, in the end it doesn't even matter because everything was just taken away.
Yeah, in the structure of it, like I was mentioning, that they fly into Apokolips, Paradoom breaks in, logo 2 years later.
Yeah, like you think you're about to get into like a huge action scene, but it cuts away just before it. And in some points, you're glad that it skips away because at least you got to see the highlights, but you didn't have to see the whole thing, so that's good.
I mean, I think it would have been ballsy if they would have showed it. Like if they would have showed it in real time, and then as Darkseid is like making a decision on the Trinity as they're all sitting there, and then it just cuts to the logo, and then 2 years later, and you're like, what happened? What? Okay, and maybe.
I mean, to be fair, like a couple months before this film came out, like my friend, he researches this stuff a lot, so he was telling me like, oh, they're going to do the last movie, and it's going to be like they're going to kill the characters off left, right, center. And I was like, there's no way they're going to do that. But no, they really did do it.
I mean, it's essentially their end game, but it doesn't end in a happy note.
No, definitely not. I mean, I think that's obviously the edge that DC animated especially has over the MCU. Like it can cater for that more mature audience. Disney will never do something like this.
Oh no. Now, the Multiverse of Madness with Doctor Strange, they'll probably do some multiverse stuff there, but not to this extent where we can just murder a bunch of characters and it's fine because we can just do a Flashpoint because we have the multiverse. It's not the same.
It was mad. Like, and the one problem I had with its continuity is it wasn't a full universe. Like there was so much stuff we could have expanded on. Like Wonder Woman had one movie, Green Lantern had no movies, Flash had Flashpoint, but it was only until towards the end of this continuity you realised Flashpoint was a part of the continuity.
Yeah, I think you but raise a good point. There's a lot of characters that were omitted, or they only had one thing, and then they were just in team up movies in the background. Like Martian Manhunter was barely in anything in this universe of movies. Hawkman, same thing. He was barely in it. Surprised he came back at any point as that Apokolipsian thing. Like, okay, you could have picked someone else, but I guess like again, give him a little bit. Because I remember watching Superman. What was it? Superman Doomsday, or what was it called? Death of Superman. Yeah, before. Yeah, and they include the Justice League into it. It's like Martian Manhunter was there, but like, where'd he come from? I don't know. He's just in the movie. Okay. Like,
Death of Superman is probably my favorite movie from this Constance Bear.
it was brutal. Like they went really hard. I mean, they did a Doomsday movie before in another like a one-off thing, but I like how they incorporated it here. They had the Justice League involved. Doomsday was basically unstoppable, and then of course the teasing of Reign of the Supermen, which is like right after. So
yeah. I remember my friend took me to like a cinema release of the Reign of the Superman. It was like only a one night showing as well. It was like 10:30 at night as well. So.
I mean, I think they should. I think they really should explore that. I mean, because they did that for some of the films. They would have like a one night in a certain screen randomly. If they do like a 30, 35, $40 million animated budget, like higher quality stuff, and put it out in theaters, people will go watch it.
Yeah.
The fact that you put it on home media, people are like, oh, okay, then I guess it's not as good. I may, or who knows, I may rent it. But if you showcase, like, boom, this is a full theatrical film, 3,000 plus theaters, people are going to be excited. I mean, because those films are way easier to make than live action.
Yeah, that's like everyone knows that DC's strongest point is its animation. It always has been. And
their comic books too. I mean, their comic books for the most part have been stellar in terms of story.
In terms of like films, cartoons is it's animated has always been its strongest point, and it's cheaper to make than the movies. So just lean into it every way you can.
I mean, yeah, and the fact that they don't is kind of unfortunate because they could easily put some more budget and then release it theatrically, and it would definitely earn money. Because every time they've done that, like I think they had Mask of the Phantasm they put out for like a couple nights. Like it wasn't like a full theatrical release, but when it came out back in the day, it earned money. If they would have really marketed it as such and put it more in theaters, it would have been. I don't know. I feel like maybe with AT&T buying out Warner Brothers, that may turn the tides. Because I mean, out of nowhere today, they announced, "Hey, we're doing a Gotham show, kind of like Gotham, blah blah blah." Set in the Matt Reeves stuff for HBO Max, but hey, at least they're doing something that Warner Brothers probably would never have done that if they were not bought out by AT&T, because they just they're really finicky. Like, I don't know if we should do this or not. I don't know.
Like it's just the best idea to expand into like all different kind of like genres, but still keep the superhero spin on it. Like this Gotham, it's going to be like it's a cop show with a comic spin on it, and that's like an amazing idea.
I mean, like, yeah, the Gotham show we got. I mean, if you just put aside what your expectations are, that show is bonkers as hell.
Oh yeah.
And Bruce is Batman before he's Batman. Essentially, he's fighting everybody all the time. It's like, Jesus Christ, okay, he's Batman.
Yeah,
like, not really.
It was the Smallville equivalent for Batman.
Essentially, yeah. I mean. People point to like Smallville, like how they were both kind of connected. Smallville had 10 seasons. They had some stuff in there, but I think Gotham handled a lot of these characters better. But I wish the final season was just more fleshed out. We had 13 episodes, I get it, or however many episodes, but Scarecrow was in one, and then he's out. Just gone.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Freeze wasn't in a single one.
Yeah, and they teased he was because they showed him in his own little area at the end of season 4. Like, oh, Mr. Freeze is coming back. No, we ain't.
Yeah.
Okay, and then they tease a version of Man-Bat or something.
Yeah,
and that was completely wasted. They removed that. I don't get it.
Yeah, but those actors who played the villains in that show, Penguin, Riddler, Jerome, Jeremiah, they the best versions of those characters I've ever seen.
And the fact that they didn't give him Joker, like the name Joker, is pretty sad. He was Joker, like. I personally didn't like his final look with the whole burn on his face and barely any hair. I didn't like it. But I
still lost in that last episode because I just saw promotional images everywhere and I was like, no, I can't. Yeah. I'll keep my good memories of this show. I won't watch that last one.
But then the Ace Chemicals episode before he falls in the vat, it's perfect because he is Joker. Like he's walking on as Joker and there's no denying it. And then we're going back to the Martha and Thomas Wayne brought the actress back. And then he's like, I'm the star of the show. Yes, you are. Because everyone watches the show for you.
Yeah.
God, that guy. Oh, okay. Well, any lasting thoughts before this movie?
I don't think I've ever cried at anger for an animated movie.
Okay.
I cried out of anger because I was like, you're killing all these incredible main characters who've been main characters in the previous movies. Nightwing, Superboy, Aquaman. They would kill off in seconds.
I remember the Superboy part. It's reminded me. I was watching the movie and I'm like, oh yeah, Superboy's alive, and then he's dead. I'm like, shit. Okay, never mind. He's not alive anymore. Like I got excited, like, oh, he's still alive. I didn't know that, and then dead.
The same voice actor who played Jerome and Jeremiah in Gotham as well.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, Cameron Monaghan, he played the voice of Superboy.
I need to go back and watch Ran Superman so I can hear him again, because I did not know that was him. But that's cool. But it's stuff like that. You think like, oh shit, all these characters, half of them are not in the movie except for their death.
Yeah, exactly. They're literally just in this movie just so they could shock you with their death.
Would you have been okay with a part 1, part 2 situation where they would have expanded on this more? Like essentially part 1 maybe establishes all this stuff. There's some fighting, but no one really dies. Maybe someone dies, but it's like a big moment. But then at the end, Paradooms are created, and then that's the end off to start up part 2, where everything goes to shit.
It depends. How long was this movie? I don't know.
It was definitely longer than, I think it's like an hour and 40. Like it was like the longest animated they've done. Because a lot of them end around hour 10, hour 15, including credits. I think it's like an hour 40 or something.
I suppose. I mean, I could have done with a little more, but not much more than I would have needed 2 movies now. Maybe just a longer one movie.
Like maybe like a 205, 210. Like maybe just like flesh it out more. Because I mean, that would have been awesome to set up like the Justice League and all them fighting parademons, and then the Paradooms show up, and then that's when you cut to a logo, and then it kind of falls apart there.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think I needed 2 movies out of it. Just a longer version of the movie we got.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, cool, man. Thank you for chatting with me for a bit. Thanks.
I've met it. It's 1 a.m. now, so I probably need to go sleep.
Well, thank you for coming in the stream, man. Thanks.
I will be at Reactcon as well, so hopefully I'll see you there as well.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Peace.
See you soon.
All right, we got Wally West here. Wally? Oh, Wally West is gone. Never mind. There was a Wally West here, and Wally West left. That was the last person who jumped in. I'll post the thing again if you guys want to jump in real quick. Want to thank everyone who jumped in. I would like some of my mods, if my mods could jump in if they're able, even if it's just audio. That would be cool. I'd like to talk to my mods. I've talked to my mods quite a bit, but it would be nice to talk to them a little more about this whole thing, because this movie's insane. Even if it's Fernando who's not watched the movie, that would be funny. But make sure you put in your name if you jump in, mods, so I know it's you. Or I could be tricked. Could be tricked. I've only seen the first episode of Stargirl Midnight Shadow Fox 315, which, by the way, that's a really long-ass name. Long-ass name, but hey, it's a good name. I think it's pretty cool. You guys, for the most part, seem like you enjoyed bringing in fans like that. I think that was kind of cool. Talk about the movie, for sure. So what would I be able to say? Well, I mean, Fernando, you can say whatever you want. Fernando, you can come in and say whatever you want, man. Because like at some point, people were going off topic we talked about Gotham there for a little bit. So I mean, you know, this guy's name is Frankie. What's going on here? Hello?
Frankie D. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's up?
Okay. Yeah, well, it's Frankie D. Sometimes I don't put the space in between it.
Okay.
But, yeah, I just wanted to have a little chat about the movie.
Okay.
Real quick.
What are your thoughts?
Like, it's crazy because, like, when I saw the trailer for it, I was like, okay, so y'all really going to go this route for the last movie. I was like, oh, it's going to be interesting.
Okay.
Then you see the movie, you're like, oh, y'all really doing Justice League Dark. So I'm just like, okay, so this is really where I'm going with this from now. Okay, fine. So I enjoyed it. That was probably like out of all of them, probably like the best one that I thought that they made. Like, I don't know, probably some people might disagree with me on that one, but that was like the best one they probably made so far. And then But you mentioned the Flashpoint when Batman told him, it's like, yeah, very creative Flashpoint. But the thing is, like, he mentioned it earlier before when they were all in a room together where he told them, like, yeah, I guess y'all all forgot about the vision I had about Flashpoint. And I'm sitting there thinking, it's like, wait a minute, you were in Flashpoint, so that's not technically a vision you had. Like, you actually lived it. But then I guess like he told them about it, but I guess they figured, well, Flashpoint's gone, so we don't have to worry about it.
Maybe that indicates he won't remember this timeline when he alters it. Maybe that indicates he thinks he lived there, but he doesn't. He's not for sure. Maybe that's what they'll be doing. Like he doesn't remember the old timeline. Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably how they wanted it to go, but like they probably could have worded it a little bit differently than how they. Well, I guess to say if it was a vision, it's like, yeah, I had a vision of Flashpoint and all these people dying. So I guess just the way that they worded it a little bit. But
yeah, the fact that they mentioned Flashpoint as like a little hint that that's what they're doing. Like that's how they're gonna fix it, essentially. Because there's no fixing it.
And then like the crazy thing about it is like when they showed the Titans in the tower, when they panned through. Like they should have done a lot more with them in the movie than just after the 2 years and after you see Constantine and then you see Raven and then Raven tells you what happened to the Teen Titans. But you see Wonder Girl, Kid Flash, and there's like a few other ones too, but you don't really see what they can do. But you know what they can do, but you don't see it. And then like when Raven relives it, it's like, oh yeah, they're all dead. Like, really? You're not going to show them like actually fighting the Paradooms? Because you see Raven's already dead. Nightwing saves Robin. You see Superboy fighting. I don't know I don't think Blue Beetle survived. I think they killed him, right?
I think he died, yeah.
So, like, the only ones that are still alive after the whole thing was Raven and, well, Superboy, Raven, and Robin. And then Robin goes back to reboot the League of Assassins after everybody's gone. I'm trying to figure out who was that girl that was with them.
Lady Shiva. I thought it was Talia. I thought it was his mom for a second, but apparently it wasn't. It was Lady Shiva.
Because I was looking, I was like, wait a minute, who is she? Because she looked kind of familiar, but I couldn't like really place who she was.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly thought it was his mom the whole time, but like, I don't know. I don't know I don't know why she was there or whatever. But then it gives like that big reveal of like Nightwing didn't die, and he did, but he was put in the Lazarus pit, and it definitely didn't. Go. So I don't know. They made some really crazy decisions for sure. Any final thoughts on the movie?
Like I actually agree with some of the people like they could have actually did a two-parter to where like they fight off the parademons and then the parademons is like where the hell these guys come from? But like you see the fight. But in like throughout the movie you see Darkseid losing, but then you see him rethinking his strategy. It's like or he could have kidnapped Batman and Batman could have been like, this is the way you beat them. Like you create the Paradooms, like create half Parademon, half Doomsday, and this is the way you defeat them.
So,
like he changes Batman to his side during the whole entire first part of the movie.
So instead of just like cutting to where he's already evil, working for Darkseid, we see him taken by Darkseid. He turns him, and then Batman's the one who actually creates the Paradooms, or comes up with the plan. That'd be really dark, though. Batman's the reason why everyone dies.
I mean, if you think about what was it? There was one Batman Doom, or was it? Oh, Justice League Doom.
Yes.
To where it was Batman and the Justice League, and throughout the whole entire movie, the Legion of Doom takes out the Justice League, and he's just like, "Oh, damn, that's my plan the whole entire time. They're using it against them." And then he's like, "Okay, I know how to kill them, but I also know how to save them from this."
Yeah, like his whole plan was just to subdue, not kill.
Yeah. He's like, wait, the Justice League's being attacked. He's like, who's attacking them? Me. He's like, oh.
My plan's for me. The way he yelled it when he revealed that it was his plans. He's like in a panic. The one of the few times I see Bruce in a panic.
Yeah, but like at the end of that movie, they were like, no, Superman asked him, was like, what's your contingency plan if you turn evil? He's like, you guys. Like,
Well,
you're my contingency plan for me.
Hopefully, I mean, but if he knows how to take all of them out, then can they really stop him?
That would be the biggest question. I would love to see that. Them, like the Justice League versus Batman, that would make an interesting movie.
Oh yeah,
if they would actually go down that route.
Okay, that would be good to do for sure. All right, thank you so much for giving your thoughts, man.
All right, man.
Okay, Panther King. Is this really Panther King? Is this really Panther King? I can barely hear you, Panther King.
Okay, Crab, can you hear me now?
Oh, I can hear you. Is this really Panther King?
Yes, it's really me.
Okay. I'll believe you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so honestly, there's only one problem I had with the movie, and that is about the fact that basically some of the characters didn't get enough screen time, and some characters were wasted. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they did a lot of cutting to certain character moments, and then the 2 years later, it just kind of, and then they mentioned that point. We just see the highlights of the Justice League when they first went to Apokolips. We don't see that fight necessarily.
Yeah, honestly, it really bothered me how some of the characters had no lines. For example, Black Manta, Bane, some of the Teen Titans just had no lines.
It was mentioned whether it's a part 1, part 2, or just make it a longer movie. I think that would have made more sense. But I mean, there's a lot of characters who spoke. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of characters they don't give any time to really establish themselves. They just die instantly. The Three Lanterns on Oa, they just get killed. Then Kilowog gets killed immediately. They don't get any time to really establish them. They're just dead, choke, they have break neck. And the point of Wally West, who we saw in New 52, he's just dead instantly.
Yeah, honestly, characters like Nightwing. Honestly, I don't really like about what they did with Nightwing in the movie. With how clearly in the movie what happens to him is that he just dies, and then he just appears for 2 more scenes in a straitjacket. I feel I honestly wish we could see more action with him, him trying to fight off with more of those Paradooms,
Yeah, I could definitely see that, because I mean, they sidelined a bunch of characters, whether it's deaths or not. But I feel they had to, I don't know why they really did this. Why they had to kill off so many characters so quickly when they could have easily established and maybe fleshed it out some more. But I don't know. I mean,
Superboy literally snapped so quickly.
Yeah, Superboy. I was oh, Superboy's alive. I didn't know, and then he's dead instantly. As soon as I finished saying he's alive, he's dead. I'm well, that was the quickest turnaround instantly. Oh, he's alive. Oh, he's dead.
I honestly feel bad for Batgirl, because I know you got really upset when she died.
I really
Oh my God.
I was probably mad for about 3 to 4 or 5 minutes after watching that shot. I'm I had to calm myself down as I'm still watching the movie to okay, I gotta get over it, because it was so stupid. Because earlier they showed Batwoman and Batgirl working together, which we never saw that, because Batgirl was at the end of Bad Blood. She never popped up again. Completely wasted. Yeah. And then she's there with Batwoman. Why couldn't it have been Batwoman that was eaten and Batgirl gets saved and she's dead, but we don't see it? They had to kill me. They had to hurt me.
Batgirl barely had any screen time in this whole universe. At the end of Bad Blood, you see her at the very end when she walks up from the shadow, and then next time you see her, just eating alive by Paradooms.
Yeah. She's working alongside Batwoman. Okay, wait. So they know each other clearly because they're fighting together. They survived the 2 years, which I guess makes sense. The Bat family, for the most part, survived everything until the ending here. And now you're saying that Batwoman just died off screen, and then Batgirl, we're gonna show Barbara Gordon getting murdered and pulled apart and eaten.
Yeah.
Okay. Hurt my feelings. And especially the fact it's the fucking statue I have. That's what hurt more. The statue. They had to use this suit, and they had to kill her off in this suit. Of course she did.
Yeah, like she had literally no lines in this whole universe. No lines whatsoever.
Yeah. They cut her. It was a waste. I really hope that if they do Rebirth, which I feel like is what they're doing based off of the ending, or at least a new continuity, that they like establish Green Arrow and Black Canary, which they were not established in this universe. Have Martian Manhunter more of an establishment.
Oh, Red Hood and maybe Red Robin. It's like they weren't in this universe either. It's like a lot of characters that have been introduced in this universe that they really should have.
Yeah. No, it's like they just gave a lot of Batman films. That's what they were just doing. A lot of Batman movies. Like Batman and Robin, Batman Bad Blood. They had what else did they do?
Batman Hush.
Wait, what?
Batman Hush. They had that.
Oh yeah, they had Batman. They had so many. Like they could have easily just Green Lantern movie. Here's a Green Arrow movie. Here's a Martian Manhunter movie. They could have done other stuff, but they just stuck with all Batman, some Justice League Dark, and in Justice League Dark they had Batman in it.
Yeah. Honestly, movie, you have to feel like you do gotta admit, I honestly felt bad for Nightwing and Starfire, because like in the previous Teen Titan movies, we got to see their relationship, and then in the movie, like literally they both die, and Starfire gets turned to a cyborg, and in the end, we just see her comforting Nightwing, who is now just like crazy and he's not himself in a straitjacket. I honestly just feel bad for him.
I mean, then again, I feel bad for Damian and Raven. They finally start a relationship, and then Barry fixes the timeline, and that's all falling apart now. Like, nah, no more. Yeah. But that was a good move though, because Raven was basically suffering, and then she let Trigon go, and that saved her.
The amount of deaths in this movie was so insane. Like, I remember, like, while watching this movie, I was like, Jesus Christ, when does it end?
Because it just keeps on going. They just keep on killing more people. Etrigan dies. Jesus.
Starfire gets hard. My jaw dropped so low when I saw that. I was like, oh my God. You're like...
They really pushed that R rating.
Yeah, that's what I like about it. Like, they put, like, the stakes are higher in this one. Not holding back. That's what I like about it.
Oh, yeah. Any final thoughts, Mr. Panther King?
Well, Mr. Chainsaw, I would say that this is a really good movie. And I like the height, how the stakes are high, and it's like they took all the risks. Honestly, I would give it probably an 8.5 out of 10. I feel that's a good rating.
Okay, I mean, that's really good. I mean, I think they ended on a high note. On a high note in terms of quality of the film, because they made you hurt. They made you go, why are they doing this? Because if you didn't care about this universe, all those deaths would not have mattered to you. So, all right, man. Thank you for stopping by and talking with me, Mr. Panther King.
You are welcome.
Have a good rest of your evening, man.
You too.
Bye-bye. I don't know who the fuck that was. Get him out of here. Scott Edwards with the $9.99 super chat. 999. Do you think there'll be another shared animated movie universe? Yes. We've been discussing that throughout my discussions and then with people who joined in on the stream. Thank you all for joining the stream. That was really cool to talk to you guys. I like this. It was kind of cool. It's cool to hear everyone's different thoughts. But yeah, I do believe we're going to get the Rebirth. Because New 52 ended, and then we had Rebirth that took over the New 52 continuity in the comic books. So I can definitely see them doing Rebirth in a century. Probably not. It won't be Rebirth like they do Rebirth in the comics, but I can see them doing Rebirth as the next continuity. And also with Arrowverse Justice League together in a crossover. Yes. I don't know if it'll be this upcoming one where they have Batwoman and Superman and Lois teaming up for a 2-night or 2-show crossover. They're saying there's going to be other characters from other shows a part of this, apparently. But I don't know. Not really sure. But thank you so much for the super chat. But yes, I do think another Shared Universe is coming. And the crossover, I do believe we'll get another big crossover event. Probably not soon. Let's see, what was the next one I was going to click on? Yeah. Fernando made this comment about the fact that Batgirl died, that the death was directly, it was specifically made because I dislike Ryan Wilder. I can't wait for Rebirth. I agree. I'm actually surprised that Gordon was exempt from death toll. Yeah, I mean, well, he's not necessarily like an Avenger, or not Avenger, just like member. Avenger. Why I say Avenger? I don't know. Fuck, my mind's just all over the place. But I mean, they didn't hold back from killing his daughter. Now it's got to be presumed that Gordon died, but I mean, if he's not dead, we're not really for sure. The Flash Supergirl confirmed meet Stargirl crossover. Well, it's not confirmed, but with the fact that Stargirl's getting season 2 on the CW, which, by the way, I mean, I'm probably gonna do like a live stream that's gonna be covering all bases. Like I've been trying to avoid as much conversation outside of the movie that we're discussing here in the stream, and I'll probably do like a stream maybe Sunday, maybe Monday, Tuesday, something like that. Just talking about whatever, like covering a couple of topics, but just opening the floor to all you guys to ask all your questions, because I've been mostly talking about this movie. But Stargirl getting a season 2 on CW and not on DC Universe is very interesting and really kind of lets me know that they're setting up crossovers. And sticking back to the movie real quick, Green Lantern, Aquaman didn't deserve that death. I agree. I mean, but then again, everyone didn't deserve their death, but they got it. I'll be on for a couple more minutes, guys. Couple more minutes. So any remaining comments you have on this movie, comment it down below. Let me know. I'll answer your question because you've been asking about it so much, even though we're staying on topic of the movie, but I'll answer your question. I have seen bits and pieces of the Birds of Prey movie, but I haven't seen all of it, and honestly, I'm not a big fan of it from what I've seen. So that's just me personally. So, lasting thoughts about this movie. Well, let's see a storyline from DC Universe like Batman dealing with Gotham and Gotham Girl. That's interesting. Because, see, I didn't think about that, but that would be an interesting tell. The only thing, though, that has been mentioned is that they did a lot of Batman stuff in the New 52 films. Like, so many Batman. Then they do Justice League Dark. Oh, that's different. Justice League Dark. And then Batman's in it. So, I love Batman. I love Batgirl. I have the stat. I was showing the statue throughout the whole stream. I love Batgirl. I love the Bat family. But you've also got to give love and support to the other fucking characters. They omitted Black Canary and Green Arrow in this era of films. Why? I don't get it. What did you think of Trigon Superman? I think it was a really interesting choice, and it was another thing to add to the list of what the fuck moments a part of the movie. So I agree, Got the Night. I agree. Maybe forgetting, but what happened to the other New Gods? They didn't say anything about them. I don't know where they're at. I don't think they mentioned anything about the other New Gods. I'm trying to think. They covered so much in that movie that there's probably something they might have mentioned. I don't remember at all. I can't wait to see favorite heroes get slaughtered and eaten by Parademon Doomsday Hybrid Babies a dream come true. Let's see. I want to see all Batman's sons in the universe. Dick, Jason, Tim, and Damian. I hear you. I hear you. They did so much focusing on Damian, though. So much focusing on Damian. I don't know. I feel like it. I don't know. Maybe I should think about that. Maybe I should think of like a plan of, like, how I would structure a new maybe I could like restructure how New 52 should have went. I don't know. I'm not really sure. Here's a good question. So the resurrection was interesting because, like, when we had Trigon, he snapped his neck, or was it Trigon Superman that snapped his neck? Regardless, Constantine, I thought Constantine died. Thought he died, and he did, but he came back. So, but I mean, I was surprised by it because I really thought that, because everyone else basically had been, well, some characters came back as Apocalyptian warriors like Wonder Woman and Starfire, but I thought that since they're not going to do the Constantine. He's dead. I rated the film 8.5 or a 9 out of 10. It's one of those. So maybe in the middle, 8.75 out of 10, maybe. But I mean, it's really good. It's really good. Batgirl in the Rebirth universe, have her no. I hope not. I hope not, man. That would suck ass. That would be terrible. They fucked me over again. Jesus Christ. I don't know. Well, guys, it was fun. Thank you guys so much for stopping by the stream. Thank you to everybody who jumped in on the stream and actually was here in the stream talking with me, giving your thoughts. I'll answer this one last question from Z-Smooth. What if Darkseid and his Paradooms fought Thanos with Outriders that are half right? That would be interesting. That would be a really cool fight. That would be a really cool fight. Just for Batgirl, I agree. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Thank you guys for stopping by. I may end up doing another live stream maybe Sunday or Monday or Tuesday, one of those days. I don't want to do one tomorrow. That's too close to one today. But I may end up doing a live stream Sunday, Monday, Tuesday around the evening time, possibly, to just cover multiple topics and then just kind of make it broad so you guys can come in and ask about whatever. Because I was pretty much avoiding all questions and stuff outside of this movie because I want to talk about this movie specifically. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out. Peace out. Peace out. In broadcast, motherfucker. Okay. Peace out.